The 1986 apparition of Halley's Comet was the least favorable on record. In February 1986, the comet and the Earth were on opposite sides of the Sun, creating the worst possible viewing circumstances for Earth observers during the previous 2,000 years. Halley's closest approach was 0.420. Additionally, increased light pollution from urbanization caused many people to fail in attempts to see the comet. With the help of binoculars, observation from areas outside cities was more successful. Further, the comet appeared brightest when it was almost invisible from the northern hemisphere in March and April 1986, with best opportunities occurring when the comet could be sighted close to the horizon at dawn and dusk, if not obscured by clouds. The approach of the comet was first detected by astronomers David C. Jewett and G. Edward Danielson on 16 October 1982 using the 5.1-meter Hale telescope at Mount Palomar and a CCD camera. The first visual observance of the comet on its 1986 return was by an amateur astronomer, Stephen James O'Meara. On 24 January 1985, O'Meara used a home-built 610mm 24-in telescope on top of Mauna Kea to detect the magnitude 19.6 comet. The first to observe Halley's Comet with the naked eye during its 1986 apparition was Stephen Edberg, then serving as the coordinator for amateur observations at the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and Charles Morris on 8 November 1985. Although the comet's retrograde orbit and high inclination made it difficult to send a space probe to it, the 1986 apparition gave scientists the opportunity to study the comet closely, and several probes were launched to do so. The Soviet Vega 1 probe began returning images of Halley on 4 March 1986, captured the first ever image of its nucleus, and made its flyby on 6 March. It was followed by the Vega 2 probe, making its flyby on 9 March. On 14 March, the Giotto space probe, launched by the European Space Agency, made the closest pass of the comet's nucleus. There also were two Japanese probes, Suisei and Sakigake. Unofficially, the numerous probes became known as the Halley Armada, based on data retrieved by the largest ultraviolet space telescope of the time, Astron. During its Halley's Comet observations in December 1985, a group of Soviet scientists developed a model of the comet's coma. The comet also was observed from space by the International Cometary Explorer (ICE), originally named International Sun-Earth Explorer 3. The probe was renamed and freed from its L1 Lagrangian point location in Earth's orbit in order to intercept comets 21P, Jacobinis Inner and Halley. ICE flew about 42 million kilometers, 25 million miles, from Halley's Comet on 28 March 1986. Two Space Shuttle missions, the STS-51L and the STS-61E, had been scheduled to observe Halley's Comet from low Earth orbit. The STS-51L mission carried the Shuttle Pointed Tool for Astronomy Spartan 203 satellite, also called the Halley's Comet Experiment Deployable HCED. The ill-fated mission was ended by the Challenger disaster. Scheduled for March 1986, STS-61E was a Columbia mission carrying the Astro 1 platform to study the comet. Owing to the suspension of the American human spaceflight program after the Challenger explosion, the mission was cancelled and Astro 1 would not fly until late 1990 on STS-35.